Hi, my name is Hannah Beavers. I'm the Executive Director here at Freedom Communities. We are a place-based organization, which means that we go deep here and we work holistically with families while simultaneously investing in infrastructure that we know that our families need to thrive, like affordable housing and early education. So our three core focus areas are building and preserving affordable housing, expanding access to quality early education, and then promoting family stability. And we do that primarily through our Moms Moving Forward program, which is a 2-gen program for single mothers with young kids. And we work with them over the course of a year to support their upward mobility. I've got 2 little ones, and when I became a mom, I didn't realize how hard it was, and to do it without having a supportive partner is really impossible. And so that's what so many of the heads of household, the majority of the heads of household in the 28208 zip code, which is where we are rooted, the majority are single mothers. And so we often want to, invest in education, not realizing that so many of these kiddos are attached to a mom who wants more than anything for her child to survive and to thrive and to have every opportunity possible. But she is so overwhelmed with everything that she's got to do to get food on the table and to support the bills to pay for housing. And so that's where we really wanted to make sure that the moms in our community had access to the tools and the resources and the support network that were going to allow their family to thrive. And we've actually impacted 395 women and children through that program since 2020. Our role as the community quarterback, I think, is sort of an expansion of who we are. We are obviously not the only organization that is rooted in this community. There are so many amazing community leaders and nonprofits and for-profits and community organizations, the county, the city. They've been here well before we arrived. And so actually, before we became a community quarterback, we were doing what was called the Freedom Corridor Community Collaborative. So we were gathering people who lived and worked and worshiped in the corridor so that we could create alignment and a shared vision for how we wanted to collectively to see the community grow so that it can serve all of its residents. The Freedom Corridor Community Collaborative that we initially created is actually transitioning into more of a coalition. And it's a coalition of neighbors who live in the area who are all passionate about what's going to happen next. We've not only worked with neighbors, but we've also worked with the city on the playbook and really trying to make sure that we're listening as intently as we can to what neighbors want here, and that we're able to connect to the resources to make that happen. That group actually meets on a monthly basis and has been meeting on a monthly basis for over a year. A while back when we were working, the biggest needs, not surprisingly, were affordable housing, childcare, workforce development opportunities, and actually holistic health needs, like having dental and prenatal and whatnot all in one location. And so after listening to what the community needed, we centered our focus areas on a lot of what the community wanted, affordable housing, childcare, and creating a network of organizations to connect our families to that would address their holistic needs, whether it be from a health or workforce development perspective. And so I would say, our work is and has always been in response to what the community has told us that they want. And we've got residents of the community on our staff, and so that obviously keeps us honest in everything that we do. And it's truly a blessing to be able to do this work. Truly, the heartbeat of our work is to try to work together collectively so that we can get that collective impact, because none of us alone are ever going to be able to solve these problems. And so one of the things that I love about United Way is that not only do we get to connect with other leaders who are doing similar work, but we get to share notes about, how are you doing this? And, how are you gathering partners, and which partners are doing what for you? And I think that collective feedback is really valuable for us, and that network is really helpful for us to just all get better at serving people well. What this funding has helped us do is to incentivize people to come together, giving us a leader to make sure it happens, and then actually giving us the ability to hire the strategic guidance that we need to make this sustainable. And so so we are really grateful to partner with the United Way. And that's just at our own sort of organizational level. But in addition to that, we get to now collaborate and work with other leaders that are doing very similar work, and to understand best practices, to understand challenges, to share solutions. This work is hard. It's so hard. And so the staff at the United Way, as well as the partners that they also invest in, have been a really great network for us to continue learning, to continue growing. And I'm just extremely grateful to Laura and Catherine and their team for having the leadership to say, hey, we're going to stick to this model because the evidence says that this works. And it's going to take time and it's going to take patience. But if we stick with it, we will see change. And so I'm grateful that they had the courage to do that, and that they have the patience to stick through and see this out.